I'm the Scrub and you're here for one reason. Seems as though Estinian has acquired a map and it will possibly lead to an abandoned isle. Rumors about this isle say that it will lead to treasure beneath the ruins located on the... Do you hear that? I think I feel that. Did someone say treasure? Where the f did you come from? Time to learn about Alzadaal's legacy. Simplified. If you're using the duty support system, I'd recommend single pulling this dungeon. Head up the path and pull the 4 lemurs. Continue up the stairs until you see the 4 AoEs on the ground. 4 additional mobs will jump onto the path with these AoEs. Watch out for the AoEs thrown out by these mobs and kill everything. When everything has been defeated, a new bridge will be created for you as soon as you reach the end of the path. Pick up the 3 armadillos and the morbol and continue up the path. 4 more mobs will create AoEs and jump into the area. The morbol will cast a conal AoE called Bad Breath. Do not get hit by this AoE, as if you do, you will receive enough debuffs to yearn for the sweet release of death. Avoid all of the AoEs and kill everything. When everything's been defeated, a secret path will be created for you to head down the stairs and greet the first boss.
Whoa, Black Betty! Hey, Pajam!
Big Wave is a room-wide AoE that will give everyone a 12-second undiscernible bleeding dot tick. Tentacle Dig will begin with burying one of its tentacles into the ground. This tentacle will ripple the surface of the water and trace a path around until it disappears. When it does this, it will pop out of the water where it stopped and create a large AoE around this point. You'll need to get to the opposite side of the arena to where the tentacle stops to avoid the AoE. It will then repeat this spot with both tentacles instead of one. Both tentacles will finish on the same side, which will leave only a small wedge on the opposite side of the arena to these tentacles. This will be hard to read, but you just need to find the safe spot as best you can. What I normally like to do is stand in the middle of the arena and attempt to find which way the ripples turn when they start getting towards the end of their path. Then I'll move as quickly as I can to the opposite side. If you get hit by the blue tentacle, it will give you a small knockback and a vuln stack. And if you get hit by a red tentacle, it will give you an undiscernible toxicosis poison dot tick for 15 seconds. The boss will move to the north end of the arena and cast Toxic Fountain. This will create 3 sets of medium-sized AoEs that will eventually cover the entire arena. You will need to stand with the 3rd set of AoEs that spawned in and move into one of the other sets of AoEs when they go off to dodge the debuffs that the tentacles give out. The squid will only repeat these mechanics until it has been defeated. Head out of the arena and up the stairs to interact with the salt-encrusted teleporter to move to the next area. Walk forward and turn right to head into the first room. Grab all of the mobs in this room and turn left to continue to the following room. The void mirror will scan you and identify you as a threat. This mirror will cast reinforcements and send out purple tethers into the water. When this cast ends, it will summon 3 extra enemies into the fight. It will perform this cast 3 times, so there will be a possible 9 additional enemies that can appear. What you can do if you're not using the duty support system is to blast down the void mirror as quickly as possible to avoid having to deal with all of the additional mobs. Watch out for the ogre bonds during this pull, as they will cast Flounder, which is a small straight line AoE directed towards a random player. Any player that it hits once it goes off will cause everyone in the AoE to be knocked back. When everything has been defeated, the door will open. Head up the path and turn left and pick up the 5 enemies in this room. Turn right and you'll be greeted by another void mirror that you'll need to defeat as it spawns in more enemies. The Urgonites will cast Palsinixis, which is an Araconal AoE. If you get hit by this, it will give you a discernible paralysis debuff. And the Swole Walrus will cast Aqua Blast, which is a conal AoE in the direction it's facing. If you get hit by it, it will give you an discernible dropsy dot tick. If you are using NPCs, I highly recommend single pulling everything between the first and second bosses, as these can get pretty overwhelming. When everything has been defeated, the door will open and you can make your way down the stairs and over the jump pad to the second boss. The Armored Chariot will move into the middle of the room and cast Articulated Bits. This will always have a point blank AoE inside its hitbox that will linger as an electric AoE. Touching this will give you an undiscernible 15-second electrocution dot tick. This first cast will cause 4 armored claws to appear in the corners of the arena. They will get a number of dots over their head, either 1 or 2, and begin to charge up a laser. These dots will indicate the order that they will go off in. The Armored Chariot will create shields and turn them to face the claws with 1 dot. When the claws fire their laser, the shields will bounce the laser back so it covers an entire quarter of the arena. The claws will always fire on opposite sides to each other, so as long as you stay away from the shields of the boss, you'll be okay. After the first set of claws are finished firing, the second ones will go off, so make sure that you dodge to the quarters of the arena that won't be in front of the shields. If you get hit by these reflected lasers, you'll get a sustained damage dot tick for 15 seconds. Diffusion Ray is a room-wide AoE. The next time Articulated Bits is cast, there will be 6 claws instead of 4, and they will all go off at the same time. The 2 claws next to each other will fire a straight line AoE that will be the width of one of the squares in the pattern on the ground. So to avoid all of the AoEs, you just need to stand in the half of the square that will be beside the 2 claws and everything will happen around you. During the Articulated Bits casts from here, everyone can get a point blank AoE. So not only will you have to dodge between the lasers, you'll have to spread out as best you can to avoid overlapping the AoEs. And finally, Rail Cannon is a tank buster. Mechanics will repeat until the Armored Chariot has been defeated. Exit out of the arena and head down the stairs to go to the next area. Pick up the
Yeah, treasure!
Pick up the 3 enemies and turn right. Go through the opening on the left and pick up the additional 3 enemies. Watch out for the mystic weapon enemies as they can cast Whirl of Rage, which is a point blank AoE around itself. If you get caught in this AoE, it will hit you with a 5-second stun. Avoid all of the AoEs in this pool and kill everything. When everything has been defeated, the wall will disappear. Pull the next enemy. As you walk forward, the treasure chests on either side of the path will turn into mimics and aggro you. Continue through to the next room and pick up the final group of enemies. Avoid all of the AoEs and kill everything. When everything has been defeated, the wall will open and it's final boss time. Spikes will rise up on the outside of the arena. Touching these spikes will give you a stab wound bleeding debuff for 10 seconds. Billowing Bolts is a room-wide AoE. Capiculu will move to the north end of the arena and cast Spin Out. This will fetter every player and wrap them up in cloth. When the boss pulls on the cloth, the Warrior of Light will begin to cosplay as a Beyblade and get the debuff of spinning. This will cause the player to continue moving around, so you'll need to make sure that you're aware of where you are traveling in the arena. The first time this is cast, players will be spinning for 10 seconds. There will be squares in the arena that will also get spikes in them, so you'll need to navigate your way around the spikes and steer clear of the walls. For this first cast, I like to aim myself to go towards one of the far corners. You won't ever hit the wall, so just try and aim yourself to go towards one of these far corners while dodging around the spikes in the middle of the arena. After you have finished spinning, you'll stop in place and be inflicted with a dizzy debuff for 2 seconds before recovering and being able to attack again. Cruel Slice is a tank buster. Capiculu will move into the middle of the room and cast Wild Weave. This will create ropes of cloth that will drape from the ceiling. There will be yellow ones with 4 knots in them and green ones with 2 knots in them. The boss will then target and tether to one of these cloths on the north or south side of the arena and cast Power Surge. This will cause the same coloured pieces of cloth around the arena to drop an AoE underneath where they are. So you'll just need to get underneath the opposite coloured cloth to whichever one he targets to be safe from the AoEs. If you get hit by any of these AoEs, it will give you a Vuln stack. Rotary Gale will give every player a point blank AoE. Just spread out and avoid overlapping these. Magnitude Opus is a stack marker on a random party member. Group up to share the damage. The boss will move to the north end of the arena and cast another Spin Out. This time you'll be spinning for 22 seconds. He will also create straight line AoEs with the cast of Basting Blade. You'll need to navigate your way around the arena without going into the spikes or getting hit by an AoE. If you get hit by one of the straight line AoEs, you'll get a Vuln stack. The way that I do this is a little risky, but it can work. I go straight down the middle AoE and turn around the set of spikes at the end of the arena to narrowly miss getting hit by the first AoE. Then the boss will jump to one of the 2 sides and perform the same straight line AoE. If he jumps to the side that I am on, I just angle myself to move to the open area of the arena to avoid being hit. If he jumps to the opposite side that I am on, I will aim for the corner of where his AoE meets the wall. I shouldn't hit the wall before I stop spinning, become dizzy, and am able to continue attacking the boss. When you have recovered from spinning, mechanics will overlap and repeat until it has been defeated. Congratulations, you have beaten Alzadaal's Legacy. My name is The Scrub. Thank you for watching.